Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA. I'm not excited.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back to do two more looks with the BH Sweet Shop collection. I did two looks last week with the orange creamsicle palette as well as the bubblegum palette. And I liked them so much that I asked you guys in that video if you wanted to see me do some looks with other palettes from the collection. So I picked up Cotton Candy and Pistachio as well. And I'm going to film looks with those today because quite frankly, these palettes are an absolute delight. I'm not going to be doing too much of a review in this video unless for some reason these are like really different than the other two colorways that I already bought. If you're interested in my thoughts on these palettes in general, I'll link the first video up here. That way you get more of a review and you get to see all of the colors that I did. Today I just wanted to play with Pistachio and Cotton Candy, and clearly I'm wearing Pistachio on my eyes right now, as you can see. We're going to be doing this look first. Before we get into it, please don't forget to leave a like on this video. It's very helpful and I would really appreciate it. And also, if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe because you know what, as a YouTuber I'm like supposed to ask you to do that stuff, but the truth is, like, I really do want you to. Like, I want you to hang out, I want you to have a good time. I have a good time. I like chatting with you guys and stuff in the comments, so you know, it's like a positive thing for all of us, and I would really appreciate that too. As always, I'll timestamp each look in the description. I will also list all of the other products that I use and link them if you need them for some reason. If you like them, if you want to use them, if you want to put them on your face. I don't want to waste too much of your time because first of all, I'm very excited to do these looks, but also I'm trying to like get ahead of the game and film 2 videos today because I've been only putting out 1 video a week. I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's not because I don't want to make videos, it's just because every time I try to get ahead of the game because of the current situation in the world, which I can't mention on YouTube or they'll demonetize me, I have a hard time getting mail in time to start filming earlier in the week, and then I don't get things until like Wednesday, and then my video comes out on Friday. You feel me? That's what's been going on. But I am trying to get out ahead of it, so hopefully that will change starting next week. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now because nobody cares about this at all. Like, I don't think, why, maybe I'll just cut that whole part out, we'll see. Let's get started. This look number 1 with the BH Sweet Shop Pistachio palette. So this is the inside of the Pistachio palette. The first thing that strikes me that I like a lot about this particular color arrangement of greens is that there are cool tone greens in here, but there are also some really like yellowy greens, and I like the variety of that. I think it makes for some more interesting looks. I'm going to start with my BH number 7 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Soft Serve, which is the lightest matte shade in this palette. And I'm going to start by putting Soft Serve through the inner portion of the crease. I'm going to pack that right into where my crease meets my nose and kind of blend it right up toward the brow. Next, I'm going to go into Guilty Pleasure, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it through the rest of the crease. I'm using circular motions just to blend that out, blend it up toward the eyebrow a little bit. I'm going to bring it up fairly high because I want these greens to stick out from the darker shades that we're going to use. I'm not quite flicking the end of it out into a wing shape, but I am flicking it out past the brow because I just kind of want it to end in like a nebulous blend out onto my face. I don't know if we're going to achieve that, but I'm going to try. On a BH number 7, I'm going to go into the shade Cone or Cup. This is the darkest matte in this palette. I'm going to start using that to define the crease, but I'm going to keep it right in the actual crease and try not to blend it up too much into those lighter greens because I want those lighter greens to remain lighter. I'm going to use this shade to define the crease area and deepen it up a little bit, but also to transition us into the shimmers that I'm going to put on the lid, which will also probably be a little bit darker, I think. Because there's this one color, Crunch, in here, and I have to use it. I have to. I don't have a choice because it's so beautiful. It gives me a makeup boner. I'm going to bring that down in like a little V down toward the end, or like, I don't know, maybe more like a U. It's not quite a C, and it's not quite a V. It's a U. On the same brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shade Nutty, and I'm going to use that to blend that green into the lighter greens, especially right out here on the corner little U that we just made. So far, these are performing just as well as the first 2 palettes, and I couldn't be more pleased. Now that this is where it is, I'm going to start popping some of these here shimmers onto the lid because, oh god, they really they look delicious. And I know that's like a cliche dumb thing to say with an ice cream themed palette, but you know what? I mean it. And you know what else? I really like pistachio ice cream, and I haven't had it in years. Maybe I'll have some. I get like the Talenti gelato because I feel like that's probably the best one. Anyway, I'm gonna take my MAC 242S brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Crunch. And I'm gonna put that all over the remaining open area of the lid. And oh my God, it's exactly as beautiful as I thought it was gonna be. Shit, that's good. I'm gonna flip over that 242S brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Treat. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. It's a little bit lighter, so I'm going to use it to highlight in the center. I'm just gonna pop it over where I put down the first shade. What was it called again? Crunch. Tap over it with my finger. Also with my finger, I'm gonna take the shade Sweet Life, which is the shimmeriest, brightest in the palette, and I'm just gonna pop it right in the very, very center of that lid. Like I'm gonna really pack it on there. I'm just gonna tap back over the edges of it with the 242 that still has those other two colors on it until it's a little bit more blended, but I'm not touching the very center where I made it really bright because I want it to still be really bright. Okay, so I put on some concealer and powder. For the waterline, I'm gonna do a green-ish deep color. I'm gonna pick up the color Invasion from Urban Decay. I'm gonna run that right the way through the waterline. I'm gonna run it through like the top tight line too. You know, why not? Cover any gaps and stuff. I'm gonna take my NABLA small pencil brush and I'm going back into the shade Cone or Cup, and I'm gonna use that to smoke out the lower lash line, bringing that up into the little U shape we created on the top. Just doing little circular motions when I get to the outer corner to like blend everything together nice and smooth and sexual like. And then I'm going to blend that out further with a small clean brush. This is a NABLA pointed crease brush, and I'm just going to use that at the edge so that way I'm not adding any more color, but I'm also still blending it out. On that same little pencil brush, I'm going to go into the shade Dessert. I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner and blend it right over that deep matte shade too. See what I mean? This color is like more of a bluish green as compared to Soft Serve, which is like really yellow, and I think that's what makes this palette a little bit more interesting. Why did I just sound like Bob Ross when I said that? Because I wish I was Bob Ross, that's why. I'm just gonna take the same brush again, I'm just wiping it off in between, and I'm gonna go back into Sweet Life that we used on the center of the lid, and I'm gonna pop that directly in the center of that shade just to brighten it a little bit. Okay, I popped on House of Blush's Aquamarine Lash, and I just finished up my skin real quick, and now we need to add a lip to finish this look, and I'm gonna use one of my go-to nude lips that I wear, but I don't wear this one as often. I wear this one when I want something that's like almost like a powdery cool tone sort of a thing going on. So I'm gonna grab the Haus Labs Rule Lip Pencil, and then I'm gonna fill it in with the Chloe lipstick from NABLA. This is like a really like powdery pink nude, and I personally very much enjoy the effect that this gives me when I mix it with other things. So that is what I'm going to do here today. And this is the first look with the Pistachio palette. Now this is the inside of the Cotton Candy palette, and to start I think I'm gonna go into this shade here. What are you called, little friend? Confection. I have never been hungrier than filming this collection. Never in my life. Weirdly though, like it goes from, oh yeah, that sounds delicious, I want ice cream, to I could really go for a plate of nachos. It's just like general hunger, you know? I'm gonna grab some of that on my BH number 6 as usual and start near the crease, bringing it up nice and high. That shade's pretty light, so I think we can go a little crazy with it if we want to. I think this looks gonna be pretty rounded out. So I'm rounding the edge when I get to the corner and just bringing it down to the lash line. My BH number 7, I'm gonna go into the shade Light and Airy. I'm gonna use that to deepen up the crease. Put a little bit of it on the outer corner. And why not a little bit on the inner corner too? Picking up my BH number 7 again and going back into a little bit more of Confection. And I'm gonna use that to blend the edge of that out, but also to bring a little bit more of that color back in because I feel like I lost some of it in translation when I was blending that other shade through the crease. I'm going to take my Sigma E36 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Sugar Plum, and I'm going to use that to continue deepening up that crease and the outer and inner corner as well. I'm going back and forth between cool purples and more warm purples a lot, and it's giving a really interesting, almost neon-ish effect. And so far, I am into it. But I do feel like of all of them, these are the most difficult ones to blend so far. It's still not bad, like they're not hard to blend, but the other ones were like so easy, like unbelievably easy to blend. So just by comparison, these require a tiny touch more work. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my white concealer. I'm gonna pop it on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna use it to create a little bit of a spotlight cut in the middle of this little blank spot that we left here. I'm going to use my NABLA cut crease maker brush, which is my favorite brush for doing anything even remotely close to a cut crease. And I'm going to bring that just slightly above my natural crease, not too high today. As usual, I'm marking out the height while my eyes open, and then I'll carry that down onto the lid after, because just getting it in the right spot is most important first. Now that I've got a nice little spotlight down, I'm going to go into the shade Sugar, and I'm going to put sugar over where I put that white concealer. And again, we're transitioning from like a warm pinkish purple to a more bluish lavender purple. I think I'm going to keep going with that theme because it seems to be making this a little bit more fun. Going back in with a little bit more of light and airy just over the edge of that to blend them together. Using a really, really light hand here just to tickle it over that shimmer and make that transition smooth. I concealed and I powdered underneath my eyes, and I'll be honest, what I did here was I picked up my winter shade of concealer and didn't realize until after I had already put it on. So my under eyes are a little too highlighted, but I'm gonna roll with it for now and then try to fix it as I finish up my complexion. And for now, I'm just going to finish my eyes. So I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay pencil in the color Asphyxia because it's kind of like a bluey, purpley, pinky shifting type of shade, and I think it kind of goes along with what we're doing here. I'm just gonna run that through the waterline. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of that white concealer. I'm gonna put just a dot of it right in the center of the under eye area. I'm gonna take a tiny little pencil brush and just dab it out to blend it with that. And I'm doing this because I'm gonna put just a little bit of a spotlight right in the center, and I wanna have a white base for that to go down onto, but I'm putting it down first so I could blend the colors on the lower lash line, like around it. And I'm gonna go into Sugar Plum again. I'm gonna use Sugar Plum on the outer half of the lower lashes and the inner, just leaving that spot where we put down the concealer bare. I'm just gonna blend the edge of that with a clean brush. I'm gonna take a tiny little detail brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Sugar again, and I'm gonna put that right where we put down that white concealer. Actually, you know what, now that I'm here, I know I already put down that shade Asphyxia in my lash line, but I'm gonna grab a dark purple and put it on the outer portions and leave Asphyxia in the middle to make that little spotlight effect more prominent on the lower half, because I feel like it's getting a little bit lost. So I'm gonna grab Urban Decay Delinquent. This is a dark shimmery purple, and I'm just gonna put that on the outer half of the waterline and the inner half of the waterline, and leave the middle with just Asphyxia because we already put that shade down. That kind of brought it all together more. I like that. And to finish off the eye look, before I add lashes and all that, I'm going to go into the shade Twirl on a pencil brush. I'm just going to use that to highlight the inner corner. Okay, I finished up my skin and I put on the same lashes as I used in the first look. I also went and scrubbed my lips because, oh my god, they're like the most chapped they've ever been in my entire life. Like, it's like insane. They're so peely. I'm also getting a little bit of a watery eye on the outer corner here. Nothing crazy, and I'm hoping it holds up until we're done. So let's keep our fucking fingers crossed on that, shall we? Because my lips are so very violently chapped right now, like they don't look too bad right this minute because I literally just scrubbed all the dead skin off them, but like I'm telling you, like I'm not even kidding, they're peeling like a snake. I wanted to do a more cool tone version of the lip in the first look, so I was going to pair that same Chloe lipstick with the Melt Foxy lip liner, but if I put a liner and a matte lipstick on right now, I think my lips might fall off my face. So I'm going to just grab one of my favorite glosses just for like every day that's a mauve. This is the Benefit Punch Pop in the color Pinkberry, and I think that's just a better option for me right now. And this is the second look. more looks, I can honestly say that I think that Cotton Candy might be my least favorite of these palettes. I'm gonna say it. I did say it. I said it. That's it. It's not a bad palette. I just found that I had to work a little bit harder with the blending, and I don't know, I just didn't have as smooth and delicious a time as I did with the other ones. If I had to choose a favorite of the 4 of this collection that I worked with, I would say Bubblegum was my favorite. Those blues were just, ooh, delicious. Like, they were so good and easy to work with and vibrant, and they blended great, and I really literally had no complaints about that palette at all. I like it a lot. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know. Did you pick these palettes up? Would you pick these palettes up? Would you prefer the ColourPop 9-pan monochromatic ones? Whatever your opinion is on these, leave it in a comment. I would love to hear it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, or if you enjoyed it, or you just want to help me out, because I would really appreciate it. And also, if you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk about makeup. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna complain about my watery eyes, and that's what we're gonna do, and I would love to have you here for it. If for some reason between these videos you feel the need to catch up with me more, you can come find me on Instagram. I update my stories over there all the time. I would love to have you be part of that little crew as well. We talk in the DMs all the time. I run polls. It's like a nice little community, and it's good. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me today. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.